Set 3 will be played on Bel'shir Vestige. Spawning in the top left-hand position as the red Zerg, playing for Evil Genius's Team Liquid. His name is Zenio.
His opponent from Samsung Khan, spawning as Blue Terran on the right bottom position of the map. His name is kOp.
Zenio, of course, been in the scene pretty much since Starcraft2 started. Originally on the Team OGS, old generation Starcraft. They had a lot of famous players on their team like Nada and MC at different times. And unfortunately, the team ended up disbanding, but they had a partnership with Team Liquid back in the day, and it was really cool to get to see the foreigners over in Korea in the OGS team house from time to time.
Yeah, and in fact, that's the reason why Hero moved from OGS to Team Liquid.
Yeah. I think that OGS, or Team Liquid wanted to give him more opportunities to show off his skill and play in international tournaments. TL could provide that monetary-wise. OGS, of course, couldn't.
Now, the question of the day, KC Roasters Flash is in first place in Pro League right now. So, here's the question, how many most wins award did Flash receive in his career?
For like overall in Pro League?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you do get the award at the end of the season if you get most wins. So they're trying to ask you how many times did Flash receive this. And look at Zenio right now. He's just trying to scout in the third base, trying to scout in that little corner in the right position to make sure that his opponent is not going for a proxy.
I like it.
Before
you know
going
what?
for hatch rate first.
Yeah. I really like that because kOp, he's not sent out a lot in Pro League. There's not a lot of information on him. So against players like that, you are forced to play a little bit safer. And this is actually a really particular location for the early command center. Maybe he's trying to trick out the Overlord or something,
yes.
But it could end up just getting scouted.
So it is going to get scouted at some point in the game, but it really depends on the Overlord positioning because first, Zenio is not going to see the command center at the bottom of the ramp, and if the Overlord goes in too deep, then he's going to see nothing at the natural. Not at the natural, but at the ramp. So it really depends on when Zenio turns his Overlord to the ramp.
We'll see if that Overlord has Sixth Sense or not. Do you remember the name of the Overlord upgrade that actually gave it increased vision? It was like something antenna, I think, from Brood War. It's not in Starcraft 2.
Was it actually in Brood War?
Yeah, it was in Brood War. Of course, dude. Overlords had 3 upgrades.
Oh, right, the third upgrade.
Transportation, speed, and...
Because I never used the third upgrade because I always cheese with the Overlords.
Nah.
Drop those Ultras on top of the tanks.
Apparently the vision upgrade was actually useful, though, in certain situations.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely useful in certain situations, but of course you don't get the upgrade early in the game.
No.
Now, with Zenio, like I said, he's not going to scout the third command center over there. And
wait, what?
What?
What was that? Okay, I think...
That has to be a misclick.
It was definitely a misclick. I think he Wait, no, it wasn't. He actually was trying to hide his command center, I think.
Okay, that actually makes a lot more sense now, since now he lands it over there and now making an order command behind it. So kOp really trying to mind game his opponent.
Are we going to see...
Alright, so we do have a factory being built inside the main base.
What are these SCVs doing over here? This is really weird. We don't ever see Terran players go this much out of their way to kind of hide something.
Zenio should know something is up. He sees a factory timing from his opponent, and he knows that it's slightly later than the regular Rax factory opening. And with this Overlord going towards the right base, he's not going to see the command center.
No.
Alright, so I have a feeling he's going to build a factory over here and build a starport on the left side of the map with the 2 SCVs over there.
He may. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, the command center is spotted. Zenio's probably thinking to himself, what are you doing?
Whoa!
Holy crap! Double proxy starport.
For a second, I thought this was going to be a regular starport, but he wanted to make sure that the SCV did not get taken out. That's the reason why he sent the second SCV. But it's going to be a double starport today.
This is so cool. We really have no idea what's going to happen here.
So it really depends on Zenio's scouting. Like we said, his early game is a little bit shaky, and that's the reason why he went for early scout early in the game to make sure his opponent is not going for a proxy. But if the circling spot was on the left side of the map, then kOp's plan is going to completely fall apart.
I'd really like to see Zenio move around the map and try He's got to know that something is not right here, because just the way that his opponent's been playing has been really weird. They're getting double Tech Lab add-ons. We could see double cloaked Banshees. It's possible.
We are going to see double Banshees at very minimum right now.
There's one Banshee right now. Will we see the cloak, though?
Well, I'm not too sure. This is, remember, he's only on 2 bases right now, but I don't think he has that much gas banked up. So he's going to have two Banshees coming out, but we don't see any cloak. And now he sees the factory. He doesn't see any starport inside the main base,
This
however.
is actually going to be I think this is going to be a really big timing attack, like an all-in, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Banshees, that's a huge investment from our Terran player.
The thing is, the Roaches are going to be great against the ground units, but Zenio is going to have no anti-air.
This is actually a fantastic mind game against his opponent because Zenio is playing it like there's going to be Hellbats behind this. He's getting a Roach Warren, which is great, like you said, against the ground army and Hellbats, but Roaches cannot attack air.
Yeah, they can't. Try as they might, the acid from their mounts just comes right back in their face.
So Zenio does have up to 5 Queens right now, but it's really crucial for him to start making Spore Callers behind this.
Honestly, though, like the double starports, he's pretty much only producing out of 1 of them.
Well, he was producing out of 2 of them, and he is also getting a cloak behind this. So there we go, second Banshee out on the way. And remember, this is a really heavy gas-heavy build from a Terran player.
Yes. We do have the double Evo Chambers on the way. I would like to see some defense in the main and natural with some Spore Crawlers, just because Zenio doesn't really know what's going on here. And
well, this just might be a build order loss right now because he's just going for banelings he is not expecting any Spore Callers. And remember, last time when Zenio actually played a ZvT, the reason why he was behind slightly early, behind against his opponent early in the game, is because he did not make any static defense.
Yeah. All right, we have 2 Widow Mines on the way for our Terran players, so he is eventually going to be able to transition into a standard game, but not scouting any starport here. He's got to know that something weird's going on, but the Banshees, the cloak is now completed. There's 4 of them, and they're moving towards the main base. The lair is in production now. We don't have any type of static defenses here, and the Baneling nets could also easily get picked off here. That Queen is not going to survive long either.
Goodbye, Queen.
All right. Oh, look at this, though. Instant reaction from Zenio, moving his units away, and... Okay, now he's moving his drones back, realizing it's not a Hellbat drop. And yeah, that Spore Crawl is going to get canceled. He's got 4 in production now. This is still going to be really brutal for Zenio. I think he's going to actually lose the space to these 4 Banshees.
I think it might be better for him to start building a second layer behind this, just to make sure that he can cancel the second one if he can save the main base, but if not, then he's going to fall behind too much in tech.
Yeah, he needs to cancel this layer here. It's not gonna happen, yeah.
At least he did buy enough time to defend against the Banshees at the natural over here with 4 Spore Crawlers over here.
Yep, all right, Spore Crawlers in position, and with 2 of the Banshees out of energy, they can get focus fired down by the Queens. So Zenio now, he lost one of his bases. We do have a pretty solid supply advantage for kOp here, and what a really cool build, man. This reminds me of like 2-port Banshee back in Brood War.
Oh, which was really annoying back then. But kOp, this was not an all-in build from him. And here comes the Hellions. Now remember, kOp, he's actually attacking the hatchery, which is a great news for Zenio because he doesn't want to lose any more drones behind this after losing a hatchery.
All right, the spawning pool does fall here. I'm not sure if Zenio built another one. I hope he would have.
I'm pretty sure he did somewhere else on the map, but he does have a Baneling nest at the natural.
Yeah, it's got that Baneling nest, but if you can't build any Lings, then that means you're not going to have many Banelings.
Really smart for Zenio, however, instantly after the main hatchery was taken out, he started building a dark hatchery on the right side of the map.
Yeah, that was a smart decision. Also making a macro hatchery, I believe, at the 3rd as well. And the layer has completed in the natural base here, but the amount of Banshees here is just scary, and think about this, man. Banshees in the mix, Hellbats, tanks, Widow Mines, basically everything is coming out here from kOp, and he actually, I think he's going to go for a mech timing.
Which is really fantastic at this point because you put Zerg so behind in this game, especially with layer just finishing and no Overseer over here. 1, 2 Queens get picked off easily.
Yeah, even up to a 3rd now, and that's a total of 5 Cloaked Banshees here. This is looking really grim for Zenio. Like, he was just completely unprepared for this, but rightfully so, man. No one does this.
And we are getting a nice mixture of all the mech units today with Thor coming out from his opponent, kOp.
I guess kOp doesn't discriminate, man. He'll build any mech unit he possibly can. The Banshees being added into the mix as well. It's a nice little touch there. Losing one of the Banshees. They're going to focus fire down this hatchery quite fast. The 3rd base under attack, though. Those Lings are going to actually potentially bring it really low on health, though. And the Lings get chased off by those tanks there. Zenio doesn't even realize. Oh, he spots the Cloaked Banshees as well.
Yeah, he did not realize that his opponent went for a really weird 2-port Banshee. The problem is damage already has been done, and he still didn't take out the Banshees. What is he going to do against the second timing attack from his opponents?
Well, he's making 8 Mutalisks right now. And the
the hatchery is almost close to dying right now.
I think it's gonna fall. It's looking really grim for Zenio here, man. Just how do you come back from this?
I don't know how he can come back into this because he does have the tech, but he doesn't have the economy to make a lot of units right now. And even he does have 1k minerals and a few hundred gas, which means that he's going to have a few mutas out. But the problem is he's not going to have enough larva to get those units out. But for now, Zenio, he's been doing a nice job with the early Zerglings, trying to harass their base at least to make sure he makes the best out of the situation that he is in.
Yeah, well, Zenio, he does have this 4th base here. He's making his 3rd, making 2 hatcheries in the main base. The muta's actually flying into the main base here, and this is going to allow him to do a little bit of economic damage here. I'd like to see him try to pick off the armory if possible, but he does see the additional factories as well, so he's got to know that this is mech-based play.
Oh yeah, definitely, and with a lot of tech labs over there, he knows that it's going to be a mixture of good tanks and Thors against the mutas.
All right, 1 Thor is out now. There's already another one near the natural and the 3rd in production. Hellions moving over to the 3rd base, going to pick up a few extra drones. Just Zeno cannot catch a break this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's down to 46 drones right now, but throughout most of the game, he's been doing a nice job keeping a lot of drones alive while losing the hatchery. So that's the reason why if he just secures a few more hatcheries around the map, then he can still try to come back into this game. The problem is those Hellions do a nice job roasting a lot of drones.
And there's going to be nothing to really deal with this mech army as well. You can't just go straight up mutas once they have more than a couple of Thors here, and we already have 3 out.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really scary timing attack from kOp. But if kOp is caught out of position with all the Bailings connecting to Zenio's army, not Zenio's army, but kOp's army, then I could see Zenio
nice
still staying in the game. Nice Widow Mine hit, but remember, mutas, they regen so fast in this game.
They got a ring of health.
Now we do have kOp just trying to max out on his mech army, and in fact, if you look at the supply, 162 from the Terran player to only 113 from Zenio.
Yeah, I mean, the supplies, I feel, tell the story of the game more than anything else here. It's you never are this behind in supply versus the Terran player, and the problem is it's a mech army composition, which means, although there's more vulnerabilities to it, unit composition-wise, if you're behind, you can't really deal with it.
Yeah, so what Zenio can do right now, and he's making the most out of the situation, is he's just trying to delay as much time. He's just trying to buy as much time as possible with these mutas inside the main base.
That's a good decision to do that. I think that there's really not much else he can do right now, and Zeno is continuing his muta production. He's getting the +1 attack upgrade though, and an infestation pit, which makes me think that he wants to go into the swarm host tech.
Yeah, he's just trying to, like I said, he's just trying to buy enough time to get the tech he needs against the mech army. The problem is kOp is maxed out, and he is moving out.
He also has the +2 attack upgrade. This is just going to be really, really hard, if not impossible, for Zenio to hold. He's going to have to evacuate from this 3rd base pretty much as soon as it completes.
Yeah, well, he's just trying to harass his 3rd base over here, but he doesn't know that his opponent is already moving out on the map.
Nice job picking off some of the units here, and this is going to delay our Terran player kOp for a little bit, but the main issue is he's going to trade basically 1 base for 2.
Yeah, well, at this point, I don't think Zenio even cares about going for taking apart these mech army from his Terran player, because he's just ripping apart on the 3rd base right now, and now he is returning home.
Oh, all right, Zenio's got 30 lings in production. The Terran player is maxed out here, 140 to 80, 184 supply. The layer, though, getting low on health here. It's going to fall pretty fast, I feel, to the siege tank and Hellbat combined firepower.
Yeah, well, what can Zenio do at this point? He only has a handful of mutas, and that's it.
He's got to kill off the Thors. I think that's the only way he's going to make this work.
He's gonna
have production. He's gonna have 27 total.
Yeah, he's gonna have. He needs to have perfect magic box against the Thors. If not, the game's gonna be over.
That is the key. Getting that perfect magic box is gonna be the only thing I think that is gonna save him from instantly dying and falling to this army here. There's now 7 Thors out total, 5 Widow Mines as well, just to make things worse here.
Yeah, we're picking off a Viking over here, and possibly a few Hellbats that's going towards the 3rd base. This nice little win for Zenio, but if you look at the bigger picture, the Thors are arriving inside the main base with the siege tanks and the Hellbats.
And, you know, the supplies right now are still very, very heavily favoring our Terran player. It's 42 drones, 41 to 48. The mutas coming now with the Zerglings, and the Thors, they're not focus firing on the mutas. The mutas coming in from 2 different directions. A very, very smart and tactical move from Zenio. Will it be enough, though? The Thors are getting low on health. Some of the mutas are starting to fall, however. It's down to 15, 14 mutas.
He's going to barely hold right now, but the problem is the damage has been done. The hatchery inside the main base has been taking out. The infestation Infestation Pit is out, and remember, he is back down to hatchery, not lair.
25 drones. We have a single swarm house, so the Mutas will eventually be able to pick off the rest of this army. I'd like for them to focus fire down on those tanks there.
Yeah, well, Zenio is back down to the first minute of the game at this point. He only has one hatchery down. He only has a couple of drones over here. He does have the Mutas, but it doesn't matter as a hatchery gets taken out.
kOp even dropping Manimules, really telling his opponent, hey man, you need to get out of this game. You know you can't win anymore. And, you know, to Zenio's credit, he is holding on as much as possible. But GG is called. That's going to be it. Samsung Khan's kOp takes a victory over Zenio with a very cool build order. And makes the score 2-1.
Just really unlucky for Zenio today, as he did not scout the double starport timing from his opponents.
I mean, even though Zenio was so far behind, I have to give him credit for holding on and keeping his composure for as long as he did.
He knew what to do from the situation. The only problem, which actually cost him the game, is he was so far behind at the point that even going for a nice harassment inside the main base and picking up the doors didn't even matter.
Yeah, so Zenio, he did the best that he could in that scenario, but the advantage from the Cloaked Banshees that were proxied, it was just way too immense, and we have actually not seen that yet in Pro League. It's a very, very old build that occasionally happens, but it's just not common at all. So the score currently 2-1 with Evil Genius's Team Liquid currently ahead slightly of Samsung Khan. The next match is going to be Oz versus Shine, a ZvP on Naro Station. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this commercial break.